welcome to a Quays News special broadcast. I'm Emily Burgin. Feminine Purpose founder Alison Leavesley is reaching out to University of Salford students in her quest to end violence to women. Jess Foley has more.
Ambitious, driven and determined, Alison Leavesley is a woman with a vision to stamp out violence against humankind.
The Feminine Purpose was something that I was woken up with at 4 o'clock in the morning in between Christmas and New Year. I was given the name The Feminine Purpose and a little snippet of what it was to do. And it was about bringing equality back to humankind. Huge task, but I see it as being a collaborative process and a questioning process. That's how it's been given to me. It's not sort of going in there and passing any judgments, looking at anybody who's done anything in a negative, judgmental way. It's asking questions to hopefully open up a dialogue that gives the answers that we can then begin to work by.
Through working closely with university students from around the world on several platforms, on the 21st of June, Alison hopes to create a live conversation so powerful that it will shine a light on the answers that we need to help stop violence against others for good. Feminine Purpose is an idea that Alison has come up with to do this, and she is working alongside human rights activist Mandy Sanghera, who has worked with victims of violence for 22 years.
I've been campaigning for is for people to be treated equally, to stop crimes in the name of religion and culture, such as forced marriages, female circumcision and other violences against people. And what I believe that we need to do is actually work in partnership with the wider community and spread the message of saying that actually it's not acceptable to abuse anybody in the name of honour, because there is nothing honourable about abuse in the name of honour.
Jess Foley, Quays TV News.
I'm joined in the studio by self-made millionaire Don Gibbons, who's been a victim of abuse. Thank you for coming in today.
It's my pleasure.
Firstly, could you briefly explain your story to me, please?
Of course I can.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's something that I've withheld for many years, for about 35 years. But I think it's something that has really affected my life. And it was when I was travelling. Basically, as a child, I was a free spirit, loved nature. And I lived a bohemian lifestyle, went down travelling into the south of France. And then while I was in the south of France with this boyfriend, basically one evening, we were out with this, we met someone, had a few drinks, and I was raped in the tent on a campsite in France. My boyfriend there, he was basically intoxicated, couldn't help me. And then I just got I couldn't do anything. Next morning, of course, when he woke up and came back to the tent, I thought, I'll get some love and a hug and to help me. But he attacked me and he absolutely abused me. And, I've got scars on my lips now that, he was just in shock. So that really had a major impact on my life. Yeah. And it's really not until now that I really feel that I need to communicate. Yeah. Because what had happened to me inside, it really suppressed my feminine inside. Right. I sort of went on then to start my own company in the construction industry. Yeah. But really, I've been acting like a man from, experiencing rape and then, having to sort of become strong. Now, the feminine purpose, I believe, is so important to get out to the world now that really we need to look at inside to celebrate the women and femininity. We live in this very patriarchal, sort of masculine world, in industry, in all walks. And we need to really celebrate the feminine, the nurturing, caring, compassionate side. So,
When was it that you decided that you needed to get some help, and what was it that made you decide to get help?
It was around about a year ago to get some help. You see, about 4 years ago, I decided I wanted to get out of the construction industry. I felt like a lone woman, that I was wanting to change. I was wanting to revolutionise the construction industry, to bring more femininity into industry. but I felt like a lone voice. Now, you know, meeting Alison Leavesley and then hearing about the feminine purpose, I was thinking, wow, we can make an impact on the world. We can celebrate the feminine way because we need it more out there in industry, you know, in business, in general life. We need to, I mean, in the construction industry, one thing that really used to wind me up a lot was, you know, in all the, there was only 1% females out there running construction industry businesses, and it was all the camaraderie of when, you know, lots of men got together, and they weren't happy just to have a beautiful wife at home and a nurturing relationship. They were all looking for, you know, extra outside, and I got absolutely fed up of this because I just wanted to. There was something else, so I sold my business, but now I just want to bring this beauty and harmony back into the world.
If you had a message, or if you could say something to victims of abuse, I mean, what would that be?
Well, stand up for you know, for yourself. Look inside and get the strength, you know, and also look at the. It's really looking inside. I, for most of my life, have been very male energy. But I've got this, I'm a beautiful woman and I've got feminine energy, and celebrate that femininity. You know, we've got to celebrate the femininity in this world and bring that forward in society.
And how do you think that that's going to happen? How can we bring femininity into, for example, construction?
Really, I think it's to do with a lot, men and women, really looking at themselves and looking at how they are in their relationships with their family, with their community, in their business, and looking at their nurturing side. Because, I mean, if you look at me, well, no, don't look at me. I've met so many women out there in industry that have been so scary, that are basically almost living in their male energy. And we've got to get the people that are working too much in that sort of left brain, sort of masculine way, to connect with their feminine side, this nurturing, mothering way, you know, and then the world will change. It will. Okay. Yeah.
And so what are you going to do to get involved with Feminine Purpose?
Oh, well, I want to support, you know, Reverend Alison Leavesley as much as possible, because she's got a great message to get out there. I'm going to be the champion of change into business. Because I think there's a lot that's needed in the business world to bring in this compassion and love into business. So that's what I'm going to champion.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for coming in.
It's my pleasure.
The campaign is now focusing on magazines and headlines relating to body image. It is hoped that one issue of Heat magazine will not include any articles on weight and how people look. Earlier, our reporter Fizza Tahir spoke to a victim of child abuse. She's chosen to remain anonymous to protect her identity.
Could you just start off by telling me your story, please?
Yes. From the beginning, I believe and understood that my parents would have preferred a little boy and I was a little girl. And which didn't have a very good start in life. It wasn't very nice, really. What happens is you start because you've been abused, you start abusing yourself. And what happens is your self-love, self-respect and self-esteem is completely diminished. So you then start, other stuff goes on, other people do alcoholism or they do self-harm. There's a whole host of stuff, a gamble. It's about yourself, isn't it?
Do you have a message for anyone out there who needs help?
To overcome the fear and to believe in themselves and trust themselves and to come forward and speak to a trustworthy person and not to be fearful.
So do you want to help other people?
Yes, I want other people, young people, very young people, to be able to have a voice and to trust somebody and to be able to be heard and to be able to tell their story and to be believed and feel safe and not to be told it's a pack of lies and it's not the truth and you're imagining it.
Many of you may have tweeted in with your thoughts on Feminine Purpose and 1 Billion Rising. I'm joined in the studio now with our interactive reporter Sophie Godfrey.
Well, Emily, lots of you have shared your thoughts today, and many celebrities are supporting 1 Billion Rising on both Twitter and Facebook. Jermaine Douglas has got on board tweeting this picture of himself on Valentine's Day. He said, "Happy Valentine's Day. Peace, love, kisses and hugs. Hashtag 1 Billion Rising to hashtag Stop Domestic Violence." There's been a few negative tweets come through though, with people who don't understand the message behind the campaign or see the significance in 1 Billion Rising. For example, at JP Duckworth, hashtag 1 Billion Rising makes no sense, yet people are hollering like a tango is going to stop people hitting women. Well, we beg to differ. Also, we've got Justin Timberlake and Ashton Kutcher who have tweeted in support of the cause with this picture, "Real men don't buy women." Other celebrities in support of 1 Billion Rising include Ruby Wax, Tandy Newton and Alicia Keys. 1 Billion Rising tweeted this picture, "My short skirt and everything under is mine, mine, mine," to help put an end to women's violence.
In other news, a group of students from the University of Manchester took part in a flash mob in aid of 1 Billion Rising. So as we can see, everyone seems to be getting involved and supporting such a great cause. Thank you for joining us. That's all from us today. If any of the issues in this week's programme have affected you or you want to get involved in the conversation, then please get in touch via our Twitter page at Quays News. Thank you, goodbye for now.